and I'll just repeat it. Okay, so we are starting this session on Kathopnishad. We have looked at the Shanti part. So Shanti part we've already seen so far. So here we have seen how the Guru and the Shishya, they pray for the proper absorption of the knowledge, and may that knowledge be retained, and may we study in the best manner possible, and all the three taps, tap ki shanti, all the three kinds of obstacles, adhyatmic, adhidevik, and adhibhautik, may be retained. So when may these obstacles not bother me, so they will not trouble me. So when I'm looking at this trouble, these kind of three kinds of problems, then if I can overcome them, my study will be done in the best manner possible. That is the prayer. So when we ask, mostly people ask, why do we have to do a prayer? What is the purpose of prayer? So that prayer, some people say, why do we have to beg for something? Can't we have depend on our own potential or capacity? So we have to understand clearly that prayer is not begging for something. Prayer is ensuring that we succeed on two levels. Succeed on two levels. So what is the first level? The first level is that when we are doing any prayer, then that involves giving up the sense of doership. I am not the doer. I give up my doership to the Lord. Oh Lord, make me successful in this venture. So when I do give up that sense of doership, because whenever I try to be a doer, then that doership creates a lot of worry for me. What are the worries? Whether I'll be successful or not, or how much time will it take for me to accomplish the task, how many how much of effort do I need to put in? So that kind of worry always hampers the growth of the ability of myself to do a task in the proper manner. That's why in Gita also Bhagavan says, कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन. So karmani eva adhikara te. Your right is only in doing the karma. Ma faleshu kadachana. You have no right to worry about the fruits of your labor, fruits of your effort. Because the more you worry, the less successful your effort will be. Because whatever effort you do, proportionate to that, the fruit you will get automatically. So if your effort is less, then you will get less fruit. But if you keep worrying, your effort will be less and your fruit will naturally be less. Right? So you will take more time to do a job. You will need more effort to do a job. So in this way, all the things that you do will lead to lesser amount of success. So that is the first part of a prayer, right? And once we give up this sense of doership, then we are able to perform whatever we are going to do in the best way, and we give up the doership of the activity to the Lord, because it is the Lord only who is functioning through us. It is His power, His energy by which we are able to accomplish any kind of task, right? And then further with the prayer, what we do is the second part of it is what we call sankalpa. Sankalp. With that, I form in my mind the image or the blueprint of the job I am going to do. Right. So if I'm mentioning that this job I am doing, I want to do it successfully, then you will notice automatically in your mind while doing that prayer, you start to think how I'm going to do it. You start to think how I will be able to best be able to do it. So, like if I am thinking of doing a class, and then I pray that it will go well. Then while doing that prayer or immediately after that prayer, I start to think what I will say during the class, and that prepares me for whatever is going to be there. So prayer helps you prepare well for doing a job, and it helps you give up your sense of doership. So whenever doership is not there, we tend to do efficiently all kinds of jobs. So in this way, prayer helps us. So then we enter into the main part of the text. Uh, so this is the Upanishad. Upanishad basically, if we look at the words, it is described in so many different ways, but if you can look at a few ways, so up, ni, and sad, that these are the three words by which joining together we can get the meaning of this word, right? So Upanishad is in a way a book from which we learn knowledge. But in Shankaracharya's Bhashyam on this, he says it is more than that. It is not just the book, it is the knowledge itself, Upanishad. So what kind of knowledge? Sat. Sat is the knowledge of my own inner true nature, my nature of pure existence. That Sat means pure existence. So up means sameep. I go near, and ni means I sit down. Siddhati. I sit down near my guru or the teacher or wherever or the shastra that I'm reading. I sit near that and do my study. So Upanishad represents going with a humble nature to the person or the place where I can get the knowledge and sitting down with folded hands to absorb that knowledge. So that is one of the meanings. Then further, sad also, if you look at it in the dictionary or in the Dhatu Kosh, so it means it has three different kinds of meanings there. Sad means, so one of them is sad means one of the meaning is Visharana. So Visharana means something that it helps to destroy. Destroy is Visharana. So when we look at Visharana, then what is it destroying? It is destroying our ignorance. So that ignorance is destroyed by uh, this Sat. So Sat is represents the destruction of ignorance. So that is one meaning. Visharan also means the flow of water. So that is another sense by which it can be interpreted. So the flow of water washes away all the all that is standing on the sides of the river. Similarly, this flow of this Upanishad will wash away all our misconceptions and wash away all our ignorance, right? So in that way, then second meaning of that is gati. So gati means we move towards that knowledge, we move towards that higher knowledge. So that is the second meaning of that sat also, the sat dhatu, right? And then the final one is nash. Third one, third meaning. So nash represents the destruction of ignorance again. So all these three meanings are used in the word Upanishad. Yes, like Sadgati, right? So, so Sadgati represents moving towards a higher plane of consciousness that is more beneficial for us in the longer run. So next we look at the first shlok, first mantra. So just to clarify, it's a Vedic text, so it's a mantra. If it is a what we call this is Shruti, and if it is Smriti like Mahabharat, then it is called a shlok. So Ushan hai Vaivaj Sravasa Sarva Veda Samdadau Tasya Nachiketa Nama Putra Asah. So this is just the introduction of the main character. So Ushan ha Vajisravasa. So Ushan represents with the desire to, hoping for. So Usha represents the illumination of the mind towards what I am going to need or what I want to do. So it represents desire. So here basically what he is doing is he is doing a yagya. So he is doing a yagya where he is going to hope for a higher benefits. Hope for higher benefits. Ushanha Vai Vajshravasa. So Vajshravasa is the father of the person of the hero of the story, Nachiketas. Vajshravasa is his name. And his name also has a couple of very beautiful meanings. So if we look at Vaj represents in one sense, it represents annam or grain or corn or whatever. So anna, Vaj represents anna, and Shravasa represents uh, yeah, endowed with a lot of that. object. Huh? So he has a home. His home is also full of the required grain for that. But in a more profounder sense, Vaj also represents wealth, because in those days Anna was wealth. So a wealthy person. And another deeper aspect of the same wealth is our inner knowledge, someone endowed with knowledge. So these are the kind of beautiful names that were given there. So, when we look at Shravasa, then the second word, second part of it, it conveys another sense of the word, that is someone who is with knowledge achieved through Shravas can also mean hearing, not the hearing the knowledge. So he is someone who has heard the knowledge. Vaji Shravasa. Hmm. So he did a what we call a yagya. Yagya. This is called the Vishwajit Yagya. That is what he did. Because what is written here, Sarva Vedasam Dadau. He gave away all his belongings. He's supposed to give away all his belongings during that Vishwajit Yagya. And so, Tasyaha Nachiketa, Nachiketa Nama Putra Asa. So, for of that Vajsravasa, he had a son whose name was Nachiketa. So Nachiketa is the main character of this story. He is a young boy who is probably under 10 years of age, because we will see in the next mantra, he is referred to as a Kumar. So Kumar is generally a young boy or a youth, but of a pretty young age, below 12, below 10 years. So he's a very, very young boy, and yet such a very sensible and intelligent boy. So this child, he is the son of Vajravasa. So now we understand the first important concept of Hindu Vedic living. So what is that? What is he doing? He is doing a yagya where he is supposed to give away everything. So in our tradition, we understand that there is a deep connection between all of us and the rest of creation, right? So we name that from two different names we give to that, the individual and the total. So for that we say vyashti and samashti, right? Vyashti and samashti. Vyashti represents the individual and samashti represents the total creation. So the individual and the total creation are inseparable. They are very, very interdependent upon each other. So if you would have seen in some religions, they prescribe that you have to give 1% of your earning, 2% of your earning, 5%, 10%. Here what is he saying? Sarva Veda Sadadau. At the end of the year, you are supposed to give away everything that you want, right? So that does not mean you sell off your house and give away everything. It means that whatever you have earned during the year, after spending whatever is needed for you, the rest you give away. So that is the level of and that is the level of simplicity that is prescribed by a religion, and yet that simplicity enriches the creation. How does it enrich? Because first of all, we have to understand is who do we give the wealth to, and uh, what is the need to give the wealth to, right? So the need to give away money or any kind of charity is not just a mental satisfaction. That is of course a part of it. We feel good, right? Usually you would accept, then you would give up something, you will feel a loss for it and be sad. But actually with charity or even helping anyone, what happens is it gives us a feeling of goodness, and that is the first stage in our spiritual development. Initially, I start with wanting things for myself. I collect them, enjoy them, and that remains my whole motive. For some people, it remains their motive for innumerable janmas only. It will take them many, many births to get over that. But what is the structure of our society? Structure of our society is that as you grow up in your family, you have siblings, you are encouraged to give to your siblings, give to your younger ones, give to the ones who are below you, the ones who interact with daily, your friends and all, you are encouraged to give. And that giving inculcates within you a feeling of joy, feeling of responsibility. And why is it necessary? It is necessary because we have taken so much from nature. Nature gives us so much more. So we have what we call a renam, a debt. A debt is incurred. So there are different kinds of debt. There is the Pitri Rinam that we incur to our forefathers. There is the Brahma Rinam that we incur towards our teachers. There is the Manushya Rinam we incur to the people around us who provide the things we need. And then there is the Bhutarinam that is provided by all the physical entities around us, the rivers, the mountains, and so on, which provide for us. And all of these, there is a Brahma, Rishi, Pitra, uh, and finally one more I'm missing. And Okay, I'll come to that. So all of these renums are incurred by us in the course of our life. We get so much from this world at every stage of our life. Even to drink a glass of milk, we have to source it through so many things. We owe it to the animal who provided that milk, to the person who took the milk, to the person who brought it to us or supplied to us, to the packager, and so on. And because of this, we owe so much back to the world. We are supposed to give to the world. And so our system is built in such a way that if we have to sustain this universe, if we have to sustain the whole of the universe around us, then we have to also give our best to us. So the more we give, the more we get. So that is the second part of it. The next part of it, which we call the Yagya Bhav. We say that the whole of the creation, Prithvi, yeah, so Deva, Pitra, Rishi, Rinas. So all these Rinas are there. So uh, when we do all of these, we are able to clear out some of our debts that we have to give. So once we do these Rinas, the Devta Rina is to the divine forces. So that is the one missed out. So all of these Rinas are to be cleared by us continuously, day by day in our life. So once we do that, it translates into a very healthy living, because when we give to them, what is Yagya Bhav, the more we give to the creation, it gives it back to us multiple times, right? If we spread one good feeling among our friends or around the people around us, we will have so many good feelings coming back to us. And the same for bad feelings also, right? So whatever good we do to the creation, we get it back also manifold. So with this, we are able to prosper in life. That is the key to prosperity. So this is what is being done by uh, the person who is conducting the yagya, who is the father of Nachiketas by the name of Vajishravas. So this Vajishravas, he is doing this yagya where everything he has to give away. So everything represents whatever he has increased in his wealth in the previous year. So you're not supposed to do it every year, but you have to give maximum part that you can give. But after some time, you are supposed to give whatever you have earned in that year, the full amount, right? So this this helps you to clear out all your what we call attachments, right? So what is the purpose of giving? The purpose of giving is what I told earlier, is the joy it gives you, but the other part of it is that it removes your attachments. Most of the times we collect so many things, we build our attachments to that, and we are tied up. They become a bondage for us. So to get rid of this bondage, we are encouraged to give. And so also so many things that we buy and collect and we don't use them. So if you give to someone who is able to use them, then they will be able to benefit more than we are benefiting. And since I am a part of this creation, I am not separate from this creation. So whatever I give to others is like giving to myself only. So when I give it to others, I am able to increase the amount of goodwill in the world, right? And once this goodwill is increased, then we are able to increase goodwill for ourselves also, right? The feel good factor as well as the blessings that come to us from those we gave. So uh, when Vajravas did this yajna, he initiated the process by which he has to give away everything in this yajna. So his son is observing the process what his father is doing. So what is he seeing? तंभ कुमार संतम दक्षिणासु नियमानासु श्रद्धा आविवेश सोमन्यत सो तगम ह कुमार संतम दक्षिणासु नियमानासु श्रद्धा avivesh so amanyata. So that Kumar, that young boy, well, what is he seeing? That Dakshinasu Niyamanasu, whatever Dakshina is being given, the Dakshinasu, plural, Niyamanasu, is being taken away. Niya is to Nayati, Niyamanasu is being taken away. By whom? To whom it is given? The Brahmans. So Shraddha Avivesh, so Amanyata. So he is overcome by Shraddha, or he is thinking that what kind of danam or what kind of donation is this? So he is observing a slight defect in the giving. So what is that defect? We'll look and see it in the next verse. But here what he is saying is he is seeing the cows being given away. So here in those times, the principal wealth was a cow, because cow could give you so many things for the sustenance of your household. So these cows are being given away to the Brahmins. So these Brahmins are taking them away, and they are then using them for their benefit. So the rule was, usually in a yajna, if whatever is being done, if it is a full scale yajna like this Vishwajit yajna, there are 16 Brahmins who conduct the yajna. So they all are different kinds of Brahmins who will do that yajna and who will also ensure that it is done successfully. So out of these, we have the four main ones are the Advaryu, then Brahma, then Hota, and then Udgata. So out of these, the Hota represents the person who is proficient in the Rig Vedic structure, right? So he knows the chanting part, how to chant the verses. That has to be done in the proper way. Then Advaryu represents the Yajurveda, the Brahma represents Samveda, and Udgata represents Atharva Veda. So even though it is about the verses of the Vedas, it also represents Advaryu represents Yajna. So he looks after the arrangement of the Yajna. Right? He looks after the arrangement, how to arrange the bricks, how to arrange the fireplace and all. So that is his main job. Then Brahma represents Sama. So he represents, Sama is mainly about music, Samveda. So it represents the proper chants, proper way of chanting and so on. And then finally, Udgata represents the Atharvana Veda. So Atharvana Veda represents represents that all the people who are involved in that yajna, they should be doing their respective duties. So usually this person, he will sit outside. He will also chant some of the verses, and the others will also follow after him, but he will sit outside. He will not sit at the Havan Vedi, right? And then all of these four have other people under them. So they help with the duties. So Prashasta, Pratikhyata, Brahmana Chansi, Prasthota, then out of the Ritvij, you have the Adi, Achavak, Neshta, Agni, Pratyartha. So you can look them up online and you will find all of these 16 that they were supposed to be given. So these are divided into four groups and you have to give away your wealth to them. So the first group that I said, that represent the main one. So for them, almost the person was supposed to give away the largest part of the donation. And then for the second one, it should be half of that. For the third group, it should be one third. And for the fourth group, it should be one fourth of the total donation. So in this way, it was divided like that. So the first one will get four cows, second one three, third one two, fourth one one. So all that was prescribed, right? So all those prescriptions were given. So that involved a lot of donation that has to be given to these people. So what was the donation being given here? So the Nachiketa is observing the kind of gifts that his father is giving. What he's saying? Pitodaka jagdgrina dugdhudoha nirindriyaha anandanam te lokaha tansa gacchati tadadat. So Pit Odaka. So those cows who are not even fit to drink their water, they are so weak that they can't even bend down to drink water. Then Jagd Trina. Trina is a blade of grass, right? So Trina represents a blade of grass. So they are not even able to eat their food properly. They are so weak. Then Dugdh Doha. Their milk has been taken out totally. They are not fit to give any more milk right now. And then Nirindriya. Nirindriya basically represents one with weakened sense organs, right? Sense organs are not functioning, ears are not functioning, eyes are not functioning, nothing is working properly. So basically old. But in another sense, it represents one who are not fit to give birth to more children, right? So they will not produce any more cows. So in this way, he is saying, seeing that his father is giving away these cows, which are not fit to be given away, they will not be a benefit for others. In fact, they will be a liability, right? Because when you are taking up from such an old cow which is not giving you back anything, then this cow will not be of any benefit. In fact, to look after that cow, he will have to spend more money, the one who takes them away. So in fact, he is like passing on his responsibilities to someone else instead of giving it a gift. So this kind of gift giving is not going to be beneficial. So that represents another key aspect of giving. Giving should be something to which we are most attached to, someone who is very dear to us. That is why in a marriage, the father gives away the bride. So that giving is not something that is his property. He is giving up his sense of attachment to the child. So the father's attachment is said to be the highest towards the girl. So that is why it is the father is the one who is giving away, because his attachment is the most towards the girl. So that is the way of giving, that whatever we give away should be something very dear to us, something that we find difficult to give away, and yet we take the courage to give it away. We see it benefiting someone else, and that should give us any happiness, right? But if it is not, then what will happen? It will be the opposite of happiness. What is that? Ananda. So Ananda Nam Te Lokaha. So this person who is going to give away this kind of gift, he will go to the worlds where there is no joy. Ananda. Ananda is joy. Ananda is no joy. So A is A Samantat Nanda, all round happiness. Ananda is A is without happiness. Nanda is happiness. So Ananda. So whenever we do something good, then it gives us joy. Whenever we do something not good, it gives us sadness. So a person who will do this kind of donation, he will go to those worlds that are very sad. So it represents, in the physical sense, it represents whenever we interact in the world, we will not get joy. But in the spiritual sense, after death, they will go to those worlds where there is a lot of sadness, or there is lot of impurity. So Ananda Nam Dev Lokaha. So it is given. This is also said in Ishavasya Upanishad, where it is said Andha Tama Pravishyanti. So though they go into the dark worlds, who are so involved with their karmas, who do not do their karmas properly, they do them with the sense of uh, something that you have to just get out of the way. So that should not be our attitude towards life. In life, we should always do something with proper attitude, with the attitude of doing good and not just completing a job. So, in the spiritual sense, it represents either the lower yonis, the animal yoni, and the different kinds of births that can come to us, or it represents going to the nether lokas, the patal, atal, vital, sutal, the talatal, rasatal, etc. All the seven lower lokas. So when we go to the lower lokas, what happens is after death, the people who have done a lot of bad things, they go to the lower lokas and they bear the pain for the kind of life that they have lived. They will get the similar amount of or proportionate amount of pain, and then only they will be able to return back and take another birth. So he's this young kid. So just see how intelligent he is. He is worried that his father will not go to good lokas, and if he does this kind of danam, so sa gachati tadadati. So he will go to those lokas, his father will go to those lokas if he is going to give away these kind of cows. Right? This is the kind of cow gift that he is going to be giving away. So he feels he has to say something. He feels he has to correct his father. So sometimes, the children are more intelligent than the elders because they have learned from what the elders have taught. They have learned from their teachers. They have learned from their friends. So we always say that the child is the father of man. The younger generation always has more knowledge, right? They get more things. So this child is very, very sensitive. He has seen what his father is doing. So that means he is well versed in the Vedic system. He's even at such a young age, he knows that when you are doing a yajna, if you do the proper ritual, then only it will take you to the higher lokas. Otherwise, you will go to the lower lokas. So he feels he has to correct his father. So can he be arrogant or can he be what we can say impertinent to say to suggest to his father, no, dad, you are not wrong, not right. You are doing something wrong. You must not do it. No, so he says it in a roundabout way. Sahovach pitram tat kasmai mam dasya siti dvitiyam tritiyam tam hovach Mritvetva dadamiti. So his intention is good, but he gets a curse. So what is happening here? Sa ha uvach pitaram. He says, after thinking all of this, that this kind of cause you are giving her, kasmai mam dasyas iti. So who are you going to give me away to? He says, who are you going to give me? Because the wealth of a father is not just the physical wealth, but his children are also his wealth. So he's asking, whom will you give me away to? So because you have given away these cows, so now next you are supposed to give me away also if you are doing this yajna. So now first he said this, then what happens? His father is not listening to him. He has understood that something wrong I am doing, so that is why my child is saying these things. So he repeats, Dvitiyam. Then again he repeats, Tritiyam. So twice and thrice he has said to his father, Kasmai mam dasya seti. Who are you going to give me away to? So the father who is busy with his yajna, he says in anger something that he is going to regret. So mritve tva dadamiti. He says, I am giving you up to the Lord of death, Yamaraja, or the father or the son of Surya Vivaswan, that is Mrityu or Yamaraj. So he says, I am giving you away to Mrityu Devta. So the child is naturally very worried. He says what his father has said that. So he expresses that in the next verse. Bahunamemi prathamaha, bahunamemi madhyamaha, kim svidyamasya kartavyam, yanmayadhya karishyati. So bahunam emi prathama. He says he's worrying that am I a bad son to my father or am I a good son? He thinks over the things that he has done. So he says I am in mostly I have been Prathamaha, I have been a good son. I am in the first level. So any child is in the three levels: Pratham, Madhyam, or Pratham you can say Uttam, Madhyam, and Adham. So Uttam is what he says. He says I am mostly I have been in the category of Pratham, or maybe sometimes Bahuna maybe Madhyamas. Mostly I have been in the other times I have been in the Madhyam category, but never in the Adham category, never in the lowest category. So he says that since the first category child, what does he do? He usually is ever ready to do something that his parents will wish for him. Sometimes, most of the times, he doesn't even need to be told. He'll be very, very ready. So then, without being told, he's able to do the things. So, what is that kind of person? He will observe the things that is being done. He will observe what has been said to him the previous day, and once he has learned it, he automatically builds it into a lifestyle, and whenever his parents call him, instantly he will come, right? So in this way, that is the student, or that is the child of the prathama category. And then madhyama is what? Madhyam is someone who has to be told what to do. Batana padta hai. You have to tell that person what can be done. So there are a lot of children who are of that category. So they will sit doing their own work. You have to repeat to them, or maybe sometimes twice or thrice, do this. And then the child, the parents will get angry, and they will maybe scold them. And then only they start doing the job. And then the Adham. Adham is someone who is beyond redemption. Adham is someone who doesn't do anything, doesn't listen to his children, parents. He does whatever he wants according to his own wishes. He will not listen to the parents. So this Nachiketas knows that whatever be the case, he is a good child. He has always been obedient to his parents, is obedient to his father. So that means he's taking even this curse in a positive way. How? Kim Svidyamasya Kartavyam Jan Mayadya Karishyati. He says that means, Lord, my father is giving me away to Lord Dharmaraja. So there must be definitely be some uh, Kim Sudhyam Asya Kartavyam. There must be some duty, some good thing that I can do when I go to Dharmaraja's place, which at home I won't be able to do any good. So if he's sending me there, definitely there must be something good that I can do for him over there. Yan Maya Adya Karishyati. That I can do for my father. So he's thinking that definitely my father has thought something good for me, something good that I can do if I go to Yama Dharmaraja's place. So what he will do? So now the story is a bit discontinued here. As I told you, there is another text where the story is more complete, but here it is kept short because it's not, some of the points are not felt to be important, right? So this is from the Taittiriya Brahmana. So in that Taittiriya Brahmana, in the third, there are three parts. So the third part, the 11th chapter and 8th section. So 3:11:8, that is the section from which the whole of this Upanishad is borrowed. But there it is in more detail, right? So there it is said that this when he saw that his father is going to give him away, and then he sees on his father's face instantly the sense of regret. Why? Because he has said, I am giving you away to Mrityu, and he sees that he has said something very, very wrong. The father sees that, and he is ready to say that I didn't mean it that way. I just meant that you should not disturb me while I'm doing my work. So that is why he said that. But his son corrects him. He says, whatever you have said in front of the Yagya Agni. Yagya Agni is the Sakshi. It is the observer of your words. So that Agni is the observer of your words. So you cannot go back from your words. Anupashya Jadha Purve. The people who came before you, you just look at them, what they did. Anupashya Yatha Purve. Your Purvas, the people of your earlier generations. And Prati Prashya Tatha Pare. And then all the good people of today's also, how are they behaving? Satyam eva martya pachyate, satyam eva jayate puno. This is again going into the next stage. So in between, what is there? So he's basically the argument of Nachiketas here is that the people of your generation or the previous generations, they would always want to uphold the truth. जो बोल दिया वो करना है. That is what was the rule in the olden days. But whenever you have committed to say something, you must do that. You must not turn back on your words, right? You must not turn back on your words. That is what he meant to say his father. So his father then is supposed to uh, follow that advice, and then he says, okay, then since this has happened in this way, maybe something good was meant by it from the Lord. So maybe let us surrender to his wishes. Let the Lord guide us. And so he sends away his son. So Nachiketas is going away to Yamadharmaraja's place. How he is going to go, we don't know. In those days, maybe people were able to go to Yamaraja and even with their body. Today, these days, now we go without the body. So, Sasyam eva martya pachyate. He's thinking that like corn or like grains, we are born or we come into this world, and then sasyam eva jayate puna. And then like grain, we also go back. So when we consume the grain, that grain gets destroyed and goes down away, right? So that is the that is what is the simpler meaning, right? So basically, he is thinking of the futility of life. Why we come into this world, we go away also. What is the purpose of life? That is his line of thought. What is the purpose of life? And so he is thinking all of these things on his way while going to Yamadharmaraja. There is, you can mark this verse. I will not reveal here, but it has a different meaning that will be apparent when we go to the third chapter. So first chapter, 6 words. You mark it out. Because the word sasya, if you try to research it, you will find a different meaning also. So we'll go to that later. So then what is the next part? The seventh verse. वैश्वानरः प्रविश्यति ब्राह्मणो गृहान् तस्येतां शान्तिं कुर्वन्ति हरवैवस्वत ओदकम्. So Vaivasvata Udakam. Vaivasvat represents Surya. So Surya Devta is the father of Yamaraj. So and Vaishwanara means the Lord of the universe in a way, but that word is also referred to as Agni Devta. So वैश्वानर प्रविश्यति अथो ब्राह्मण गृहान तस्य शांति कुर्वन्ति हर वैवस्वत ओदकम. So he has now entered the house of Yamaraj. He has entered or about to enter the house of Yamaraj. So there uh, the story goes here that he had gone to Yamdharmaraja's house, and he asked his wife that I have come on the advice of my father to serve Yamaraja and to come to him, and so I need to meet with him. So at that time, Dharmaraja was not at home. At that time, Dharmaraja was not at home. The story is not given here, but it is there in the text, and it is given in the translations. If you have this text with you, you will find here. So for 3 days, he was waiting for Yamaraja to come home. So his wife asked this small kid, even though he's a small kid, he's a Brahman, right? So he's a Brahman. So Vaishwanara Pravishyate Atithi Brahmano Griha. So when a Brahman enters a house of any person, he is like Agni. What does Agni do? Agni can, if you feed the Agni will be satisfied. If you give bhojan to the Brahman, he'll be satisfied and he will be happy, and then he will calm down later on, right? But if you don't feed the Agni, he will burn your house. So the duty, when it is there for every Atithi, of course, But especially for a Brahman, the duty is stronger that whenever a Brahman comes to the house, you are supposed to feed him, you are supposed to give him food, and uh, that food, when it is partaken, then only is your duty complete. Otherwise, if you don't give to the Brahman, the not giving will burn your house. It will cause you loss. It will cause you lot of sorrow later on. So tasyetam shantim kurvanti hara vaivasvata udukam. So this shanti, if you desire this peace that you desire, you have to give to this Brahman. So who is saying this? This is now being said to Yama Dharmaraja, to his wife. He said that you should have fed him. So his wife says what? His wife said, I agree, my lord. I would have definitely fed him. But the thing is that when this kid came and I was alone at home, seeing a woman alone at home, he didn't want to enter. He didn't want to. So he's such a sensitive child. He is a 10-year-old kid, but still he is not going into the house with the wife being present. So he asks her that I cannot come in while your husband is not at home. So whenever he comes home, I will enter. So without eating food, for 3 days, this child is sitting outside the house. So finally, Dharmaraja is reached home and he's angry with his wife. Why did you feed this little child is sitting outside? So instantly you invite him in, please give him his food and serve him well. So this becomes the seed, or this becomes the method by which he is going to get a lot of things now. What all he will get. So here it is given, भाव ये है, अतिथि लगातार 3 दिन से आपकी प्रतीक्षा में अनशन किए बैठा है. So you can read the text also. So and so here Yamaraj is saying to his uh, wife that you must feed him. He is he we it was our duty to feed him. So now his wife is saying, you can do the thing yourself. You better do it yourself, since he was waiting for you. So that is what he is going to do. So Asha pratikshe sangata sunitam cha ishtaputte putra pashuncha sarvan etad vringte purushasya alpamedasa yasya ashnan vasati brahmano griha. So it is said that in whoever's house Asha pratikshe with some kind of expectation, Asha Pratiksha, Sangata Sunritam. So, whatever Sunritam, and someone who is a follower of the right path. Huh? Rit is the path. The Rit is the rhythm of the universe. It is some how properly we must do something. So, a follower of that is then uh, arriving at your house, and so Ishtapurte Putra Pashun Sarvan. So after feeding that such a person, you will have all your desires fulfilled. Ishtapurte. So Ishta and Purta represents two parts of our desires. So Ishta represents the desires that are fulfilled through the method of yajna, where we do yajna, we express our desires to the universe, and that the universe gives us back the power and the energy to fulfill those desires. So Ishta represents those. Ishta is something desirable. Then Apurta represents the second part of our desires. This is a very detailed topic, and there is a lot of it in the Brahmanas. It's mentioned in the Bhashyam also. So Apurta represents those things we do for the universe, which is supposed to help us. So they represent creating what we call uh, creating modes by which the people around you may be happy. So that represents digging of wells, hoop banana, pyau banana, we say that. So making water resources available to people, making food available to people, like arranging for langars and all those kind of places where food can be eaten. So all those good things that you do for the society, that they come under apurta. And then uh, putra pashunsh sarvan. So whatever we are going to do for our all the children that we have, all the people that they are in family, etad vringte purushasya alpamedaso, yes, anashnan vasati brahmano grihe. So whoever is residing in this house of the Brahman, in this house that serves a Brahman well, all their desires will be fulfilled, all of their wishes will be fulfilled, and they will be able to do them to the best way possible. So whenever in a house there is a Brahman who is hungry, bhukha baitha hai, so for that person they will not get what is their ishtapurta, their whatever their ichhit padarth, whatever they desire. So when they don't get that, then the pain is incurred on both sides. It is incurred by the Brahman also. It is incurred by the person who to whom that Brahman has been invited. And so then, what is the next stage? That from that Brahman, from his vani, from his speech, there will not be any kind of etad bringte purushasya, there will not be any kind of good feelings towards you. There will not be any kind of madhurya, because when you give something to someone, then only you get their blessings. So it's not that the person is said to be bad, someone who will curse you if you don't give to him, but naturally when you serve someone well, you will get ashirwad. Ashirwad. Though that ashirwad is a bigger part of keeping you prosperous in life. The more ashirwad, the more blessings you get in your life, you will be prosperous. So in this way, the Brahman is supposed to be kept very well fed, and has to be given all the kinds of uh, good things that can be given to him. So just quickly look at the next one. This will discuss more detail in the next class, but just to see that तिस्रो रात्रि यद वसति ग्रहे में अनशनन ब्रह्मन् तिथिर्मनस्य नमस्ते अस्तु ब्रह्मन् स्वस्ति में अस्तु तस्मात् प्रतित्रीन वरान वृणीष्वः. So तिस्रो रात्रि yad vasati griha. So for 3 nights, this student, this child has been waiting for me anashnan, while eating, not eating any kind of food. Huh. Brahman Atithir Masya. So this Brahman, in the form of an Atithi, as a guest, he has come to my house and he has stayed here for 3 nights, waiting for me without eating any kind of uh, food. So Namaste Asya Brahman Swasti Me Astu. So I fold my hands in front of you. Please bless me that I will not suffer for this. So because of that, Tasmat Prati Treen Varan Vrinishva. So because of that, I will give you three varas, three kind of boons. So he asks, or Yamar Dharmaraja asks Nachiketas to ask for three boons, that whatever you wish, you can ask from me. I am a very well endowed person. I have lots of powers. I can give most of what you can ask. So what I give you three kinds of boons. So these three boons he asks the Nachiketas. You may demand. So, question. Okay. So we will wind up for today. We'll look a bit more onto the this topic about three varas, why three varas are usually given, what is the reasoning behind that, a little bit more we'll just discuss. We'll look in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om.